Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show. This podcast is short, fun, and jam-packed with good ideas that you can start using right away.
Welcome to a new episode and to 2024. I'm your co-host, Ellen, along with my co-host,
Nostradamus.
Oh.
At the beginning of the year.
That's not creepy.
No, you're wondering, I wonder what this year's going to be like. So this episode is about two things. One, kind of seeing what's happening around you in trends-wise and efficiency-wise and productivity, and seeing how you can use the tools and adapt to that. But also driving the change that you want by planning your year, how you want it to go. So it's a combination of the two things. And so I created this small one-page year starter, and it's just to fill in. Okay, it helps you to choose a theme for the year. It's got a few things on for your bucket list that you're going to make fun things you want to do. It takes about 10 minutes to fill it out because we're about efficiency. So we'll have it posted.
It'll be in the show notes.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can just get it and fill it out. But tell me what Mr. Nostradamus is up for 2024 in theory.
Yes, in theory. And some of this is kind of like, duh. I mean,
Okay.
You don't need to be a Nostradamus to predict it. But with Gen Z joining the workforce, efficiency is becoming more of a thing because this group is raising the bar. They can get more done because they're masters at multitasking. They are quicker to make decisions, and they do it virtually, meaning we all meet on our tablets or laptops. Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Bam, let's do it. Off we go. Whereas in the past, there was a committee and a process and and in the past, you do one thing at a time, you finish it, you move on. So with those things changing, it kind of, depending on what age you are, I think we got to raise our game a little. I think we got to find ways to be more efficient. And the only way to do that is to listen to this podcast every week in 2024. And I just thought of that idea as I said it.
But I'm right there with you. I do work for a project every year, and I've been doing it like 15, 20 years. And forever, we always had to meet and get together, and we would go to a college campus, and we would have a room, and they would cater the food, and we would, it was just so inefficient. And I pushed and I pushed. I'm like, what if we do this over Zoom? And there was this great, we don't even know what that is. And then 2020 hit, and guess what? We went to Zoom meetings, and they have never looked back. We have never stepped foot on a college campus again for a meeting. We have not had a catered breakfast. It's all online, and it's so efficient. There's no driving. There's no eating bad food. I know it was catered, but the food was bad, and it makes so much sense. I'm all behind it. Carry on.
Some of the trends I think that kind of that ties in is the predictions are there'll be less business travel this year, more fun travel, but less business travel.
That makes
less
sense.
people working from home, which is kind of a bummer.
That's a huge bummer.
More companies insisting that you're in an office or somewhere. Businesses are now more click and mortar, where you order it online, but you pick it up in store. That's kind of going to be something.
Oh.
But yet we'll be shipping less stuff. So less post trips to the post office is one of the predictions.
We'll be sending out less stuff.
Yes, we'll be both ways. Just the post office isn't as relevant as it was a few years ago. I love the post office, but I have to say it's not efficient. It's not. Although it's getting where you could do everything, most of it at home, and you just drop it off there.
Yeah. And you can drop it off other places too.
Yeah. So that's help. That does help. But the prediction is, well, certainly we don't send as many documents and paper like we used to, I mean, those guys riding around on bikes through the city,
the
whipping
couriers.
around. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know how much that's used anymore, but so there are some changes that are happening. And
are you saying no one's going to be using a fax machine?
What's that? They don't, talking about the post office. So kids today, according to what I was studying and reading about, aren't even taught how, if you ask them to put on an envelope, fill it out, they don't know how. And do it in cursive, forget about it. They're not taught cursive. They don't know how to put a stamp on the envelope.
Do you know what this means?
Is that bad? I don't know. Not necessarily.
Do you know what it means? We is old.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. Gee, thanks. Yeah. Well, I remember we had to lick the stamps, and that's been 20 plus years since you had to do that, or lick an envelope, which when you think about it, it's kind of gross.
Longer than that.
Yeah.
The stamps, the first desert wars when they changed them, because stamps in the desert would stick together.
Interesting.
Hello.
Wow. It's a little
Follow
bit of
me
trivia
for great.
you've been carrying around for a while. And then the last prediction was we've always grappled with what is the meaning of life? And so they were asking younger generations, obviously younger than us. Thank you for that. And the meaning of life is fame. And how does that affect efficiency or whatnot?
Fame.
Well, fame. People that have kind of grew up, they're digital natives. They've been using technology since they were born. They don't know anything but a smartphone. They are so good at creating an online aura. I don't even know the right word.
Persona
that they can scale that up. And so, they're able to build, a following and whatnot. As far as that helps for efficiency, I don't know, but it's just one of those predictions. The meaning of life is fame. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm going to go along with it. Not for me, but for some people, that's really important. There you go. Happy 2024. Sorry for all the bad news.
There you go. Happy 2024. And like Lee said earlier, one of the things we predict is that you should be back here every week for a new episode.